नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी साध संगत जी। शुक्राना। गुरुजी महाराज द मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम आप सबका स्वागत करती है। आज हम सब एक बार फिर धन्य हो गए हैं। गुरुजी महाराज की कृपा से डिवाइन ग्रंथ लाइट और डिविनिटी से एक सत्संग सुनेंगे। आज का सत्संग गुरुजी महाराज की ब्लस संगत पृथ्वीराज सिंह जी ने लिखा था, जो कि महाराज ने इस ग्रंथ में इंक्लूड करवाया था। आज का सत्संग पृथ्वीराज अंकल जी पढ़ेंगे और गुरुजी की ब्लस संगत गुंजन शर्मा अंकल इस सेशन को इनिशिएट करेंगे। मैं ज़्यादा समय ना लेते हुए गुरु महाराज की कृपा से गुरु परिवार की तरफ से आप दोनों का स्वागत करता हूं और गुंजन अंकल से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा प्लीज सेशन को इनिशिएट करें। ओवर टू यू गुंजन शर्मा अंकल। जय गुरुजी।
जय गुरुजी अंकल, जय गुरुजी साध संगत जी, जय गुरुजी पृथ्वीराज सिंह अंकल। It's an honor to co-host this beautiful satsang जो गुरु महाराज ने लिखवाया है। और गुरु महाराज के जरिए ही हमें ये सारे कल्याण पता लगे। गुरुजी ने ही ये बुक कंपाइल करवाई, अंकल को भी बोला, एंड कैसे गुरुजी ने पूरी माला रची ताकि उनकी आने वाली संगत ये सत्संग पढ़ के सुन के ये समझ सके कि फिजिकल फॉर्म में कौन इस धरती पे आए थे और फिजिकल एज वेल एज निरंकार रूप में कौन इस धरती पर एक्चुअली अभी हैं गुरुजी। संगत जी, डिप्रेशन एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जो किसी को किसी भी फेज में अपनी लाइफ में, बचपन में, टीन एज में, यंग एज में, मिडिल एज में, ओल्ड एज में कभी भी हो सकता है। एंड हाउ इट creeps into your life, you don't know. What circumstances and situations lead to it, you do not know. But yes, for sure, one thing we know that गुरु साहब की मेहर हमारे पास सदियों से है, आज भी है और आगे भी रहे। So whatever the problems, issues, illnesses it may be, गुरु साहब का हाथ हमारे सर पर है, उनकी बख्शीश, उनकी मेहर हमारे साथ। I would not take much time and I would ask Prithvi Raj uncle to start sharing his satsangs, and after each para we would like him to share some of his experiences, as well as we would सी कि कैसे गुरु साहब इसके थ्रू हमें नए नए ब्लेसिंग्स देते हैं, अपने तरीके बताते हैं, और कैसे गुरु साहब एक रात में भी क्योर कर सकते हैं और 20 साल तक भी वो बीमारी हमारे साथ रहे और वो क्योर नहीं होती। ये दोनों ही तरीके हैं जो गुरु साहब की ब्लेसिंग्स हैं, एंड वी शैल बी रिवीलिंग देम सून। सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट पृथ्वीराज अंकल टू प्लीज start sharing your satsang, Uncle Ji.
Jai Guruji, Sangat Ji. I am not sure if my camera is showing. I have switched on from my side, but I don't think I'm visible. Am I?
No, you are not, Uncle.
I don't know. I've tried again a couple of times actually to start my camera, but I don't know. Just.
So there is a stop video button on the lower part of your screen. If you can see, if you touch your screen, stop video.
I get that. And I have, tried all the combinations, but I don't know, for some reason the video is not starting. So I'll just leave it on and hopefully, it comes up at some point of time.
Sure.
So thank you, Gunjan uncle. Thank you so much for co-hosting the satsang with me. I'm actually very nervous today because this is such a platform that we have where we get to talk about Guruji, and not only talk about him, but this is something that we are conveying to people it's a message that's going out. And I hope I'm able to do justice to the blessings that I've received from Guruji. And personally, for me, I like to keep my satsangs really short and small because it's really not about me, but it's about Guruji's Mahima. And I don't really want to make it all about me. So, having said that, I hope I do justice to the satsang completely. Just I'm able to express the blessings that Guruji shared and how he shared his blessings and the love and the protection that Guruji has given. So that's the bottom line of it. Just before I start to read the satsang, I think I'd like to just share that, Guruji called me to his fold somewhere in 99, 2000. And I don't, for me, clearly it was Guruji's calling, because as I will read and express in my satsang, this depression, which I'd never heard of or had never experienced or never had it, just came out of the blue from nowhere. And when I look back after all these years, it is very clear to me that it was Guruji's way of getting me to his fold, to get me at his sharan, to keep me at his lotus feet, to connect me with the Sangat and make me a part of the Sangat. Back then, I was, I was, I guess I was in my late 20s, early 30s when I got connected to Guruji, and I had a very good life. I was professionally, I was doing extremely well. Not extremely well. I was doing well professionally. I was married. I had a good married life, better than I thought it would be. The family was good. I had support from my family, and we're a very close knit and a happy family. All of us put together. So everything in my life was good till one fine day, I woke up to this feeling of, like everything in my life had come to an end. The feeling, I don't think I can express it in words, but people who are going through this problem or have experienced it, only they will realize the magnitude of the problem. So depression, while may to some people it may seem like a small mental illness, but people who go through it is as bad as any other form of physical illness can be. And it completely broke me. And if it wasn't for Guruji, if it wasn't for his blessings, if he hadn't called me, I don't know how I'd have survived these years. And with his blessing, after I came in his Sharan, and to this date, it's been 25 odd plus years. I have never, after his blessing, experienced or gone through the pain and trauma that I went through. And I'll start by reading the satsang, but really, to all the listeners, I think the message really is Guruji's blessing. It is not to say that my problem was big or my problem was small, but it was just, him taking his sangat in his fold, calling his sangat to his fold, and then blessing them. And I think I'm absolutely undeserving of the blessings. I have many sins. I have, done many things that a Sangat should not be doing. I'm not sure whether I'm deserving of all the blessings, but I am today what I am with Guruji's blessings. So having said that, I'll start my satsang reading. So, as may be the case with many of us in the Sangat, I came to Guruji when I was in trouble and all other help had failed. I was under acute depression, which was getting worse despite medication and every other form of help. Now, when I look back, I truly believe I was called to Guruji. How else does one explain the miraculous overnight cure? So again, I think just to summarize, what I said at the onset, I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to, I remember at that point of time, a Sangat asking me, "What is the reason of your depression?" And I said, "I don't know." They asked me the cause, and I said, "I don't know." And he or she, I don't remember now, but kind of gave me a mocking smile that, there's always a reason behind a depression, or a thought, or some link which gets you to that point. But I couldn't really explain it. And I remember Guruji had asked me in the Sangat a couple of times to stand up and do my satsang. And when Guruji had asked me to stand up and do that satsang, I had never in the Sangat before experienced anybody giving a satsang. So I was a little baffled and I was taken a little aback and I was caught unaware and I didn't know how to do my satsang. So I rattled off whatever in a very unorganized way. I wasn't able to put my thoughts clearly, and Guruji told me, and he reminded me to say a few things that I should not forget. So, in this case, when I wrote about taking medical help, I had also gone to tantrics. I'd also gone to done puja, part, and how families are. My mother was very supportive. She couldn't understand why I was going through this depression. And I think back then there wasn't even this much awareness. Today, mental health is spoken about and talked about, and people are sympathetic towards people, and there's help. But that time there was not so much awareness. People said, "All right." And I remember my father telling my mother, "Don't make him a sissy," because I used to involuntarily start crying because that's what happens. Suddenly you're sitting and you start crying, and obviously as a mother she would come and she would talk to me and ask me what it is, and my father used to say, "Let him deal with it," not for no other reason but him not knowing. He felt that if she cajoled me, I would have never kind of stood up and fought fought this off myself. So Guru, before I'd come into Guruji's Sharan, and before Guruji had called me to Chote Mandir, I had tried everything. I remember I was working in Delhi, and I'm from Jaipur, so over the weekends I would try and run home to my mother and to my father for family support, and that kind of a thing. And my mother would see me in that condition, and she would say, "Ki yahan pe koi Baba hai, Tantric hai in Rajasthan somewhere. Let's go to him, there will be a cure to that." And, we went there and this person said कि आपके घर ऐसा ऐसा एक पेड़ है, उस पेड़ को आप काट दीजिए, ये कर दीजिए, वो कर दीजिए. We did everything. And obviously nothing had helped. And my condition was getting really bad to worse, and it was so difficult for me to kind of stay at work, to concentrate at work, to deliver. And I was with a multinational, and their performance and delivery is the key. You kind of monitored, and you kind of your deliverables are very important there. But I wasn't able to do that. So it was a very bad depression that I fell under. And yeah, let me read further then on this. My depression was severe and I was at an all-time low. I would cry in desperation and get suicidal thoughts. I braved going to work and tried to be as normal as I could on the exterior. I would wait to get back from work to get to a temple and sit there and pray for peace. This went on, and my condition seemed to be only getting worse. One day, I remember that a close family friend had mentioned Guruji to my mother years ago. I immediately called my mother and asked her for directions to reach Guruji. So, sorry, Gunjan uncle, were you trying to say something?
No, please do continue.
So, So when this happened, the condition that I was in, I would come back from office and I would, it was like something, I just had to run out. I just had to run away from every situation. I had to run away from the house. I had to go wherever I could to find peace. And I used to live in Greater Kailash at that point of time. And Greater Kailash market had a mandir. So I used to go to that mandir. And I remember going to that mandir one evening. And I was sitting in the mandir and I was restless. I was like, I can't breathe. I'm gasping for air. I can't. I need some help. And वहाँ पे बैठे हुए I remembered कि and this incident was when I must have been a young teen, where my mother and a very close friend of hers, Archana Pandey auntie, was sitting and talking, and I must have been around in the room. I must have been playing and doing my own thing. Where I remember Archana Pandey auntie telling my mother that her brother is Joshi uncle, has a guru. His guru is in Delhi, and he is so devoted to his guru that now, no family function, whether it's a marriage or it's a festival or it's a death or, anything, he's not connected with the family. His life is devoted to Guruji. And this is, I think, all that she had said. And she mentioned that he's completely bestowed to Guruji and his life revolves around Guruji. So sitting in that mandir that day, I recalled this conversation, and it's so funny that, a child, I don't know whether I can call myself a child, but, whatever age I may have been, I don't think, I could have had that recollection. But I had that such a strong recollection of that conversation, a conversation that I was not a part of. I was just sitting and must have overheard bits and pieces. And I remember that sitting in that mandir at GK. And I called my mother up and I said, can you please, call Archana Pandey auntie and ask her about this Guruji that she was mentioning. So my mother obviously called Archana auntie and, she got the details. Archana auntie also spoke to Joshi uncle, I think, and got me the address, which they said was Chote Mandir at Empire State, MG Road. Now, MG Road today is a common name road for everybody. Everybody knows where MG Road is. But back then, it was back and beyond, and Gurgaon wasn't developed. And so the next evening after work, I left for MG Road, and there was no GPS. You had to stop and ask people. But I don't know how I reached Mandir. I may have asked maybe one person or two people at best in terms of how to reach Bade Mandir. And without any difficulty or without any detour, I landed at the gate of Empire State. I read Empire State outside. And at that time, you could park on the main road and, there were sevadars there, who would help you to park your car. I parked my car and I asked them for directions. They guided me inside. And I came to Bade Mandir, and I was a little taken aback because when you hear of a guru, you hear of a saint, there's a certain perception in your mind that it will be, in my imagination, it was a very rustic place where I thought the guru would be. But Bade Mandir was a divine place, is a divine place, and not what I had imagined it to be. Anyways, I reached there, and I think I reached before the Sangat opening time. There were a few Sangats sitting there, and because of the mental state that I was in, I didn't speak to anyone. I didn't talk to anyone, but people were sitting against the wall. I also went and sat against the wall. And, people were doing satsang amongst themselves. And I was totally distracted. I wasn't, listening into their satsang, or I wasn't trying to do anything. I just sat and waited my turn there. I'll just read on from here. I came to Guruji in 2000. I remember my first day at the mandir. Uh, I was among the first to reach and sat in the front. It was the first time in many weeks that I felt calm on entering a mandir. I remember sitting there and hearing of people's miraculous cures of serious illnesses. I said to myself, I will believe only when I am cured. So after the first day, I became a regular and thereafter started coming every day. I would feel calm all through while I was at the mandir, but the heavy feeling would come right back as soon as I left. It was on my fourth or fifth day that Guruji spoke to me when I was at his feet taking permission to leave. He said, "तेरी घरवाली सिटी बैंक में काम करती है. Your wife works in Citibank." At the time, no one in the Sangat knew me, nor had I spoken with anyone. But at that instant, I felt something lift. I returned rapidly to my normal state. I remember coming out and calling my wife and telling her of what Guruji had said. I told her, now I know I'm all right. Since that day, I have never ever had depression again. So, like I said, I came there, I sat, and Guruji came. Guruji came. He sat at the Gatti, and I must have been the fourth, fifth person in line from Guruji, and Guruji had asked somebody to do a satsang, and they were doing the satsang, and they were right besides me, and as a sangat, I should have been a part of that satsang, but like I said, my mind was all over the place. I was distraught. I was lost in my own thoughts. And I was thinking to myself that I don't believe in these things, These are all good to hear, but unless, I have that cure, I can't believe this. And when these thoughts were going in my mind, Guruji was looking at me as if reading me. And obviously, it goes without saying that he did. But, the beauty of all of this is that, when I used to come to the mandir, I had a sense of calm. I had a sense of peace. And, the moment, and when I would be in the mandir, all would be good. But the moment I would step out of the mandir, that feeling of depression would come back, and it would come back with such force and such gravity that, it felt like, even here I've not found, my peace that I'd come for. And, but despite of which, I didn't stop coming. And that time, coming from GK to Empire State was quite a distance. The roads were not that well lit. There was not so much traffic. It was the evening time, but I still came. I would come back. There was a pull factor. There was something that was taking me back to the mandir every day. And my wife hadn't been accompanying me because she was very used to me just going out on my own to the mandirs. And she thought, whatever helps me, and if this is helping me, she said it's good for you to go and sit there. And so, when I was sitting and hearing, and I said to myself in my mind that I don't believe in this, and Guruji looked at me, and Guruji had the kindest of eyes and the most affectionate smile, when you would look at him and see, and, I could see that he felt my pain, he saw what I was going through. And I think some people around in the Sangat were sympathetic towards me because all of us, come to a guru, come to a saint, come to Bhagwan, when we are going through some problem in life, when the going is good, we are all very happy and, we are so consumed in ourselves. It's only when, we are going through some troubled waters that we think of divinity and, the Lord. So, ऐसे ही हुआ. I think 2-3 दिन तक I kept coming, and finally on the 4th day, I was taking Guruji's agya, and he had asked, Guruji would let the Sangat go after the langar, and I was in the queue and I was taking his leave, and Matha Tikkar, I was getting up and my hands were folded, and I just looked up at Guruji, and he looked at me with such love. I can, still feel the look, and I can feel the smile on his face. And all that he said was, "Teri gharwali Citibank mein kaam karti hai." Sangat ji, I have goosebumps, and I can't tell you what it did. It was Guruji's way of saying that he knows it all. He doesn't need to be told, and that I am in his protection. And he said that, and he I said, "Ji Guruji," and I walked out, and when I walked out of that mandir for the first time, and all this while, I had a smile on my face. I was laughing. I was feeling good. It was like, I had feather. I was walking on the clouds. I can't tell you how nice I felt, how normal I felt. It was that day when Guruji spoke to me, and all he said was, he asked whether my wife worked at Citibank, and I said, "Ji Guruji." That day and today, I have never ever, and I have been through many situations in life which have been tough, and which easily for somebody who's been through this could relapse into another bout of depression or something. But with his blessings, despite everything that I've been through, I have never had that. And today, I am what I am, and so are all of us, because of Guruji's blessings. Today I'm at a point in life where I just do shukrana to Guruji. Every morning I say a prayer to Guruji, and at one point of time, there was in my life where I used to ask Guruji for certain things, but as I learned from the Sangat, and as I got maturity in my spirituality in whichever humble way, I realized that you don't have to ask your guru, because your guru knows it all, and who better than me should know that, because I have been blessed in so many ways by Guruji, that today, from I had started going and thanking Guruji for everything in my life that I counted as a blessing. And I'm at a point in time where I realize that it is a huge um, injustice, or what, I don't know the right word, but the wrongest thing for me to do, and to spell out and count the blessings, because every day, every second is a blessing. There are so many things that I'm unworthy of, and I've been blessed, whether it's health, it's spirituality, it's financial, it's family, or whatever. And there's so many things in the family or in the situation that are happening because of Guruji's blessings. It is not that we are deserving at all as a family or as an individual, that we have all the blessings that we have, that we can count. So I don't. I mean, it's just Shukrana Guruji, Shukrana Guruji for all your love and blessings. Uh, um, it's that. Also, just after I had Guruji's blessings, and I started, I had been regular to the mandir, but I started to also then talk to Guruji in my mind at that point of time, not knowing that Guruji can read my mind, because that time, that clarity wasn't there, or, that understanding wasn't there. But, when I'd become, a regular, when I'm saying regular, maybe it must have been 10 days, 15 days. One day I was sitting at the mandir, and I was just looking at Guruji, and we'd been married for a few years. I don't remember how many years now, but maybe 5-6 years, I think. And back in the days, I think, after 1 year of marriage, people, or you were expected to, start your family and things like that. But we hadn't started. We had thought that we'll take it easy, we'll have enjoy each other, and then at the right time start the family. But that day I was sitting in the mandir, and I said, Guruji, please bless us, and if you think the time is right, bless us so that we start our family. And I had said just that much, and I was in a state of ecstasy, and I'd gone home and I'd spoken to my wife and everything like that. And obviously I hadn't shared with her what my internal thing with Guruji was. And after a month, I remember this very clearly. We had from GK, we had moved to Vasant Kunj. And at night, my wife was really uncomfortable and she was throwing up and everything like that. So maybe after, she had gone and what you get that home test for pregnancy test. So, she probably got that, and, she had tested herself and it came positive. And she told me that she'd conceived. So she told me that morning, and I'd gone to Empire State Mandir that evening. And again, as I was leaving, and I was taking Agya from Guruji to leave the mandir, Guruji again, with the most loving look in his eyes and with a smile on his face, he said, Gharwali pregnant hai. I mean, obviously these are not Guruji's words. He spoke very differently, but I'm just saying the gist. He kind of checked with me if my wife was expecting, and I said, Ji Guruji. And then he smiled and he said, I've blessed you with a son. And sure enough, and just imagine, this was a conversation that I was having with Guruji in my mind. I hadn't spoken it aloud. And that's the kind of love and affection. I don't know if, you can relate the bhav or I'm able to express it. But, everything that you asked Guruji of, he blessed you with it. Whether it's good for you or it's bad for you. But if you ask Guru for something, he never disappoints you. And sure enough, we were blessed with a very, very healthy son, and his name is Shivai. And stupidly so, I didn't ask Guruji to name my son because I thought, I don't know, Guruji, kya naam rakhenge. So but I was very sure, okay, I would keep a name after Shiv, and Shivai came as a name, and we named him. And with Guruji's blessing, he is now a 23-year-old boy, a grown-up boy. And similarly, the second time when my wife was expecting, and obviously you don't come and tell Guruji, in the same way Guruji asked me again, is she expecting? And I said, Ji Guruji. And he said, Ja tujhe munda bless kara. And I was so keen for a daughter that I said, Guruji, nahi mujhe mundi de dena. And he burst out laughing because I'm a Rajput. I'm not a Punjabi and I don't speak Punjabi. So I thought munda means the thing for a girl is mundi, and he started laughing. And he said, no, you will be blessed with a son. And he said, you can take a third, but that too will be a son. So then I smiled at Guruji and I folded my hands and I said, thank you, Guruji. And sure enough, my second child was also a son. So Guruji's blessings are immense. Finally, my last paragraph of the satsang. Further, I remember talking to Guruji in my thoughts and praying to him to bless my wife and me with a child. Exactly a month later, my wife took a home test which came positive. That evening, when I came to Guruji, he said, "Gharwali expect kari hai, ja kalyan hua, tujhe munda hoga." We were blessed with a healthy 9-pound boy. Guruji blessed us again with a second son in 2004. Whatever we do today, we always know that Guruji is right with us, holding our hands in times of need and giving us direction. This was my satsang. I also want to say that, it is such a blessing and such a responsibility to share the satsang correctly so that the right message goes out, and I it doesn't sound frivolous, and it's not about me, but it is just to show the blessings, how Guruji takes care of you. And it's surrender. After Guruji's Mahasamadhi, even to this day, and I have to try really hard at times not to ask Guruji of anything, but to completely surrender and let him decide what is best for me. And ever since I have started to do, or at least try and attempt to do it, I can't tell you the immense peace I have, because I know whatever happens, today I may think that, that things didn't go the way I wanted it, but in hearts of hearts, I know that this is for my best and this is what my guru wants for me. And knowing that and accepting is such a courageous thing. I mean, I get so much strength out of that. So that is what surrender to Guruji is. Jai Guruji. Thank you, Sangatji. Jai Guruji.
थैंक यू अंकल, थैंक यू सो मच. और संगत जी, जैसे अंकल जस्ट नरेटेड एंड ही सेड द राइट मैसेज शुड गो, और कई बार हम ये चीज भूल जाते हैं दैट what uncle's journey has been with Guruji. People can have similar experiences, but with Guru Saab's grace, the things may not turn up in a similar fashion, because each soul's journey is different. And Guru Saab के जो तरीके हैं, they are tailor-made for each sangat. Yet, by listening to satsangs, we really get immensely blessed. पर जैसे गुरु साहब ने अंकल ने अभी नरेट किया कि एक it was an overnight cure. And in our case with my mother also, when we went in 2004, when she was detected with cancer second time around, and when we went to AIMS, so doctors said कि मैम आपकी रिपोर्ट में पहले जो हमें ट्यूमर दिखाई दे रहा था वो अब नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है, आप जाइए ऐश कीजिए. So there are instances, there are satsangs where you get cured in a night, in 6 months. But here, in 2004, when we went to Guruji, my sister got divorced. And again, that was a court case which was going on. And with Guru Saab's kripa, it got amicably resolved within 15 days. Or there are certain things, relationships, which are not meant for lifetimes. So, wo hua. But yet, soon after that, she went into depression. And it's been 20 years since then that she's dealing with depression. So yes, you can have cures which Guru Saab wills would be done in a day, in 6 months, in 2 years, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And if he wills his kindness that वो आपके कर्मा इन बीमारियों के थ्रू, इन कष्टों के थ्रू, इन दुविधाओं के थ्रू, आपको उनमें रख कर भी, अपने सानिध्य में रखकर, अपने ऑरा में रखकर, and as Guru Sahib has blessed us satsangs morning and evening each day in our house, so my sister stays in that environment. Yet she is depressed, yet she is taking her medicines for so many years, yet there seems to be no cure. And it was one such evening in 2020 COVID period time, और तब जा नहीं रहे थे घर से बाहर, और यही एंड सुबह शाम गुरु साहब ने सत्संग भी शुरू करा दिए थे, तो कनेक्शन और ज्यादा फील होता था. और ये तो पता है कि गुरु साहब से मांगना नहीं चाहिए, और मैं ये भी नहीं कह, बिकॉज व्हेन यू सी समवन लाइक दैट, समवन इन योर ओन फैमिली, people who are depressed uh, can be abusive at times, with no rhyme or reasons, but that's not their fault at all, because what chemical reactions are doing to you in your body, you are not in control. The medicines you are taking would not let you to be free with your emotions, because they suppress your emotions, and yet you are in a constant battle where you yourself do not know what is happening to you and how you are behaving. You can be harmful to yourself or to the people you are living with. There was a case in our building as well. She was dealing with schizophrenia, and we have seen what it can do to you and to your family members. And Sangat ji, it was one fine day when because ये तो नहीं चाहती संगत कि गुरु साहब अपने ऊपर वो कष्ट ले, तकलीफें ले. We know when he takes cancer, he takes heart ailments, he takes various different diseases upon himself, he suffers. And how could a disciple, ask his guru to suffer? And I don't know whether my prayers were right or wrong, whether my ardas was in the truest and earnest sense, truthful and in the right direction. But I asked Guruji ki Guruji, मैं आपको नहीं कहता कि उसको क्योर कर दो, but if possible, can I share it with her? And I don't know what time it was, what day it was, or which year it was, whether during COVID it started or it was after COVID, I started getting depressed. और मुझे नहीं समझ में आया that I was depressed because I was losing weight like anything. I lost 15 kgs of my weight. I had all my tests done in through the best of the hospitals and went to the best of the doctors. Had all the procedures done, but eventually the doctor started giving me antidepressants. Never told me, never said a word to me that you're depressed. It was after taking those antidepressants that I started feeling even more weird. And then I went on to see what medicines they were, and they were antidepressants. And now the doctor started increasing the dose. And I very clearly remember that once I was standing on the tarmac at the airport, and I had taken that medicine, and I started feeling so low, so low. I just felt that something is falling inside. What it was, I just froze. I could move. I could take a step forward. Something was sinking inside me. And I said, I cannot take this medicine. I cannot take this allopathic medicine. I just left it. I just left it. Don't leave your medicines. As Guru Sahib says, Guruji का अपना तरीका है, बट डॉक्टर्स जो आपको मेडिसिन दे रहे हैं, जो आपका लाइन ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट है, प्लीज डू फॉलो दैट. देन गुरु साहब ने ही सत्संग में संगत को हमारे घर भेजा. उन्होंने बताया दैट हाउ a wonderful homeopathic doctor is there in Dwarka, and he started treating me. और उन्होंने मुझे मेडिसिन देनी शुरू. Yet the experiences, kind of experiences uncle share, that you cry, you don't know for what reason you are crying. Many a times आपको कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगता, आपको समझ में नहीं आता कि आपको करना क्या है. Your life seems to be aimless. It seems to be जिंदगी के कोई मायने नहीं लगते. क्यों जी रहे हैं ये समझ में नहीं आता. But कैसे गुरुजी आके आपकी जर्नी में आपके साथ इतने खूबसूरत तरीके से आपको प्रोत्साहित भी करते हैं, आपको अपनी शब्द गुरबानी के साथ जोड़कर अपनी सूरत को उसके साथ कैसे जोड़ना है और ऊपर उठाना है, ये सिखाते हैं। कैसे आके आपको when you're sitting in satsang, he comes and talks to you, he gives you instructions, he comes in your dreams। और कैसे एक सोल को ना क्योर करते हुए भी कैसे स्पिरिचुअली हील करते। एंड इट्स नॉट द कर्मास which I share with my sister, if I may say so, or it may totally be my karmic account which Guru Sahib is settling, because हमारे जन्मों जन्मों के पाप हैं, कर्म हैं, बुरी सोच, बुरे बोल, बुरी नीयत, जलन, कड़वाहट, जो किसी ना किसी तरीके से किसी ना किसी फॉर्म में बाहर आएगी। जब मंथन होगा अच्छे और बुरे का, तो ये बीमारियां ना ही हमारे शरीर से, हमारी रूह से, हमारे मस्तिष्क से, हमारे हृदय से बाहर निकलेगी। एंड व्हाट बेटर डॉक्टर, हीलर, spiritual guru, God himself you can get than Guru Sahib himself, who does this time and again, day in, day out, in each of his satsangs. He takes me to his satsangs almost every day. I sit with him almost every day. Yet there are moments of anxieties, yet there are moments of fears, yet he's curing me, yet he's healing. And how he has been doing it so wonderfully, so beautifully, is just amazing. So it's not bad to be depressed, it's not bad to have ailments, but just to be in his charan sharan, to be with Guru Sahib himself, to be with Nirankar, to be with God himself, is the biggest boon a soul can ever have, a soul can ever want. And I think one should even stop asking for cures, should stop asking for their near and dear ones to get better, because it's him. उनके हाथ में हमारा लेखा जोखा है, वही रचयिता है, हमारे कार्मिक अकाउंट सेटल कर रहे हैं, उस ऑरा में, उस ग्रेस में, उस मेहर में हमको रख के हमें हील कर रहे हैं। And he just loves us all. As uncle has been saying it umpteen number of times, that when he used to say something to Guruji, and how Guru Sahib used to just give a smile, a beautiful smile, and a word of reassurance. And that's what he has been doing with all of us. Recently, महाराज जो है वो ड्रीम में आए। एम्पायर बड़े मंदिर में मैं बैठा हुआ था, गुरु साहब अपने आसन पे थे, मुझे गुरुजी दिख नहीं रहे थे, तो मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा आगे होता जा रहा था, रादर साइडवेज होता जा रहा था कि गुरुजी मुझे दिखे। आई कुडंट सी हिम। अगेन हिज काइंडनेस, साहिब हल्का सा आगे हुए, नीचे की तरफ झुके, ताकि मैं महाराज के दर्शन कर सकूं। वो नूर, वो खूबसूरती, वो एहसास, क्षण भर का ही सही, is my biggest medicine. That's what ever a Sangat yearns for, or I won't say asks for, because Guru Sahib ने बोला है कि मुझसे दर्शन ना मांगा करो। मैं 1000 वॉट की इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हूं, तुम 0 वॉट के बल्ब हो, so you would not be able to bear my energies. So I never ask for his darshans, but yes, when he does give, जब वो नूर दिखता है, जब वो रूहानियत दिखती है, जब वो ऑरा दिखता है, तो अंदर तक वो ठंडक महसूस होती है, वो रूहानियत महसूस होती है, जो और कहीं नहीं महसूस होती. So Guru Sahib, your love, your kindness, your meher has been so immense, has been so wonderful, it has been so pure that we can never be ever deserving of your love, your care and your benevolence. But yes, it's your kripa, it's your meher that you have always kept all your Sangat in your Charan Sharan and have been blessing us all alike ever since. So thank you, Guruji, so much. Thank you, Prithvi Raj uncle. And I would like you to please conclude it by adding few more lines, your experiences with Guru Sahib, and how your journey has been shaped by him, how his love and compassion has changed your life and helped you to deal with your life situations. If you could put some light on it, uncle, for us.
Sure, Gunjan uncle. One of the things that I forgot to mention was that, whenever Guruji blessed, he never made you feel, I mean, Guruji ne bless kar diya aur malum bhi nahi chala. And, you took it for granted. And uska, would you say that? I don't know how to express that, but, uh, you know, they say na ke, your left hand should know what your right hand has done or given. It was like that. Guruji never made you feel that he's done something for you. It was just a smile. It was just a look in his eyes. वो कभी वो I don't know how to express that. I don't know how to put it in words. It was never कि मैंने तुझे ब्लेस कर दिया या मैंने तेरे को डिप्रेशन से क्योर कर दिया या आई ब्लेस्ड यू विद अ सन और डन XYZ फॉर यू. It was just a smile. It was just a love. It was just a way of giving assurance, just a way of making you comfortable with him. The way he looked at me and he asked me, does your wife work at Citibank? Is your wife expecting? And you're blessed. I'm blessing you with a son. Once I remember that I was, unhappy at my work, and I was desperately wanting to make a move, and I was looking around for opportunities outside, and I had an opportunity, and I had gone and sat in an interview with someone, and it seemed that I would get that job offering. And it so happened that Guruji had called me to his room that evening, and I was telling Guruji, I've got an opportunity, an offer from here. I mentioned the company. Guruji took the name of the interviewer by his name, and I was caught so off guard and by surprise. And Guruji said, Krishnamurti. He said no. He said he's not. I don't want to kind of say it, but he said basically Guruji said no. So he knows it all. He is looking out for us. We have to have that trust. We have to have that belief, and we have to have that surrender. When we know that he's looking out for us, when we know he's taking care of us, uh, why do we have that anxiety? Why do we have that constant need to want to tell Guruji? And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to preach, because maybe your way of doing it is better. Maybe I am not that evolved. Maybe I don't understand it as much as you do. But for me, myself, that's, how I'm looking at the situations. It's not that someone has told me. It may be having heard so many people picked up something from somewhere, and that's what I try and attribute. But you know it's given me that strength today. If any situation I am in, I'm able to deal with it because I know I have left it to Guruji. If it is a very bad situation for me, if I'm losing everything that I have, I can still take it with a smile on my face, because I know that Guruji is there. That's the kind of surrender I hope Guruji keeps on building with me, and that, I can just completely give in to his will and have that implicit faith and trust that, whatever is meant to be will be. There are some litigations that, we're going through in terms of family and everything like that. And obviously, those are important things in a day-to-day matter, because you have to fight for your right and you have to get your dues or whatever else it may be. But it's not just for me personally. And at one point of time, it used to create so much of anxiety. But today, I can just let go of it, saying that who am I to ask, or who am I to fight for it, or who am I to demand? Guruji is there. If it is meant for me, it'll come to me. If it is not meant to be, even better, because it's probably taking care of things, that I'm not being able to see through today. So for me, ultimately, it's surrender. Every single day is a blessing. Everything, I mean, in my life, from all the comforts that I have, uh, I don't think I'm qualified for or deserving of, but it is all there because of Guruji's blessings. So, Gunjan uncle, I don't want to say too much because then it starts becoming like a preaching or something like that. The bottom line is that if we can surrender with our heart, and this is of my own experience, that when you truly start to surrender, all the worries kind of vanish, because then you're not fighting for something or you're not getting anxious about something. You left it at his divine feet and said that, yes, whatever comes my way, I accept it with humility and knowing that it's in my best. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji. And, I would like to talk about a positive part of depression. I don't know how many people would agree with that or not, but, it makes your mind and heart a bit liquid in terms of द्रव्य कहेंगे अगर, वो आपकी स्टेट को थोड़ा द्रवित रखता है, और जो दुख है ना कहीं you actually may not be in pain, और आप actual दुख में ना हो, but then all your mind is the one which creates it, और उस दुख में, उस पीड़ा में, या उस एंजाइटी की स्टेट में, it is easier to connect with गुरु साहब. तो अगर गुरु जी से जुड़ने के लिए, गुरु जी तक पहुंचने के लिए, गुरु साहब के चरण शरण में रहने के लिए, this is the easiest and the fastest way. I accept it truly and with my whole heart, because somewhere down the line, this in itself has helped me to connect with my guru in ways which I never thought existed. He takes me to Bada Mandir literally every day. Why I go there, I don't know. When the doors are closed, just to bow my head in front of him gives me immense peace, tranquility. And I think somewhere down the line, just to be with him is what my soul wants. And if my brain, heart, soul would not have been in this liquid state, I would never have been able to, love Guruji as much as I do today. So whatever experiences he gives us, let's not talk it as it is a illness, but whatever experiences he showers upon us, he blesses us with, are all for our good, for us to spiritually uplift, for us to evolve as a soul. And it's all his meher and kripa that he keeps on doing it time and again, because लोग बोलते हैं कि अगर तुम गुरुजी के पास जाते हो तो तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ, हम गुरुजी के पास जाते हैं इसलिए ही हमारे साथ ऐसा हुआ, बिकॉज ही वॉन्ट्स टू मेक अस स्ट्रॉन्गर, ही वॉन्ट्स टू मेक अस अ बेटर ह्यूमन बीइंग, ही वॉन्ट्स आवर सोल टू इवॉल्व. He wants us to deal with the world as well as our internal battles in a much better way, which we would, it was beyond our capacity. And he is actually, reshaping our mind. He's reshaping our future. He's reshaping our present, and he's reshaping our soul, so that we could eventually evolve and, be in his charan sharan forever and eventually merge in him. तो गुरु साहब जो हैं, जो करते हैं, सब अच्छा करते हैं, हर समय हर संगत का कल्याण करते हैं, हमको वो लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड सिचुएशंस देते हैं जिसमें हम उस लायक बन सकें कि हम उनकी ग्रेस और मेहर को एक्सेप्ट कर सकें. एंड समटाइम्स जब मटका बनाया जाता है तो उसको थोड़ा सा हार्ड हिट भी करना पड़ता है, उसको मोड़ना भी पड़ता है. कुंदन भी सोने में ही तप कर निखर कर बाहर आता है. सो दैट इज अ वंडरफुल वे. गुरु साहब लिटरली हमसे तप तो नहीं करा रहे हैं. येस्टरडे उषा भाटिया आंटी वाज एट अ प्लेस, घर पे सत्संग था, और उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे गुरुजी ने उनको बोला कि तेरी जिंदगी जो है वो तपस्या है, एंड हाउ गुरु साहब हैज ग्रांटेड हर मोक्ष. सो गुरुजी ने अपनी हर संगत के लिए अलग तरीके इजाद किए हैं, हर रूह को अलग तरीके से वो इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं, एंड हिज कृपा एंड मेहर हैज बीन एब्सोल्युटली so marvelous and so wonderful that I really have no words to thank him. So thank you Guru Sahib so much. Thank you Prithvi Raj uncle. Thank you Suresh Vasan uncle. And concluding, uncle, if you would like to say something, Prithvi Raj uncle.
No, just Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji.
Thank you, thank you. Vasan uncle.
जय गुरु जी महाराज. गुरु परिवार ने डिप्रेशन से रिलेटेड अलग अलग पहलुओं से महाराज द्वारा दी गई ब्लेसिंग्स को सुना. थैंक्स लॉट पृथ्वीराज अंकल, थैंक्स लॉट गुंजन शर्मा अंकल. गुरु परिवार की तरफ से आशीर्वाद, गुरु जी महाराज की कृपा हम सब पर बने रहे. इसी के साथ ही अब हम सब गुरु जी महाराज से आज्ञा लेंगे.